What's happening, everybody? You're tuned in to another episode of Off the Yard, and we're still in our 5-part series, The Shoe. I'm walking you guys through the beginning, the middle, to the end of a long-term seg stay. Now, in the beginning, we talked about getting booked, getting locked up, getting them cuffs put on, getting walked to your cell. Now we're going to talk about your day. How are you going to spend your day? How are you going to somehow stabilize a routine? Let's get into it. It's rolling like a six-shot gunning and the miles keep dragging on, trying to make it home. Well, I'm going to start here with the first week. The first week, you're going to start getting acclimated to life behind the door, man. And we say behind the door because you're behind that door 24/7. Whenever you come out, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be putting shackles and cuffs. You're going to be escorted everywhere you got to go. You're going to be escorted to the showers, to the yard, to wherever, to go sit in front of the administration to do your evaluation every couple weeks. And they do these evaluations because, one, they got to justify keeping you in a box. And the way they justify it is, oh, well, he's under investigation. Oh, well, he's got a charge. Oh, well, he needs to have consequences for his actions. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Now, you got different variations of SEG. You have people who are back there, like I've been numerous times on investigation. You got people back there who are doing the 30, 60, 90 days for infractions, assaults, gang violations, tattooing, dirty urines, whatever. There's a whole multitude of things that will land you back there in SEG. You also got PC guys, protective custody, gang dropouts. You have people who have snitched. You have people who have done things that made the general population pissed off at them. So now they got to sit back there. Then you have sex offenders. The thing about Virginia, I think it's a lot of states actually, not just Virginia, but a lot of these sex offenders, these child predators and rapists and men of that nature are housed in general population. What they do is they keep them down the lower levels because most of the guys that are on the lower levels are going home. So they're not worried about putting in work. They want to go home. It's not our job to give these men consequences. At the end of the day, it should have been on the damn judge. You can't always go at the convicts who are doing time. Well, y'all should have gotten at that guy. Y'all should have done this. Y'all should have. No, you need to go stand outside your local judicial building and tell them they should have. Because what happens is when you assault one of them guys, or you put in work, or you try to get justice for little Susie or little Connor, you fry yourself. Because they're going to give you, not only are you going to get your institutional case of which you're going to sit back and seg for a long time, they're going to give you a street case. They're going to take you to court and charge you with assault, malicious wounding, attempted murder, or those things. You're going to get charged. Now you just lost 5, 10, 20 more years of your life. It wasn't on us. And I understand people's frustrations. I get it. But imagine having to live around those guys 24/7. Hear them make their snide remarks. Hear what they say behind those doors. So what happens is the administration will put them behind these doors, and they will spend their whole day talking big smack to us. Oh, y'all ain't going to do nothing. Yeah, I did it. And they will literally taunt and joke about what they did to those people. And that's why a lot of times we lash out at them. It isn't so much that, a lot of times it isn't so much getting justice for the people on the street, but what they've made us endure. What they've sat behind that door where they thought they were safe. Until one day they take them to medical. Here comes Chomo Charlie down the breezeway, going to medical. Big Lance just got called down there for a TB test. It's on, right? Justice. Getting back on track though. Your first couple days are going to be the hardest in a seg term, for me anyway it was, because I go from walking the yard, making moves, politicking with the homies, doing whatever it is that I do throughout the course of my day. Now, in prison, routine is everything. Your routine is your life. You don't want to go into prison or jail or anything like that without getting yourself on a decent routine. I would wake up in the morning. I would immediately make my coffee. I would have my first cup of coffee. Usually I'd watch the news. This is outside. This is in general population. I'd watch the news for about 30 minutes or so. I might read a couple good positive quotes. Whatever I do for that first 30 minutes, get myself woke up. I would usually go straight to the floor. I'd hit myself some push-ups, some sit-ups, whatever it is that my little exercise was. Something fast, maybe like 300 to 500 quick push-ups. And, I would get myself washed up, brush my teeth, and go to eat breakfast. People say, why would you brush your teeth before you go eat breakfast? This is why. It's respect. Nobody wants to come out and stand in that chow line for the next 30 minutes with some dude who smells like he ate a butthole before he walked out of his cell. You want to brush your teeth because it's respect for the next man. And in prison, you don't get to see the dentist, like talking about. You will put a request form in, and you will literally wait a year to see that dentist. So there's a lot of people walking around with rotten teeth in their mouth, man. Bad teeth, cavities, abscesses. There's a lot of that going on, man. So you don't want to smell that first thing in the morning, and that will literally make you want to fight. If you got a dude standing behind you, running his mouth, and it just smells like rhinoceros S behind you, right? Excuse me, I'm trying to use better terminology for my YouTube videos. So if I say some weird stuff, that's why. YouTube has made it very, very hard for us to talk. So that being said, please have patience until I get used to speaking like that. Well, golly, Wally, gee whiz, guys. Hard to get my point across using terminology like that, but I'll do my best. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to come back from chow. You're going to get yourself your cell cleaned. You're going to make your bed. You're going to, sweep your floor, get the little dust bunnies up off the floor. What we used to do pretty much is take turns. A lot of guys would do a day. I clean today, you clean tomorrow. I like to do it a week at a time. This is my week, this is your week. Because it just gets too complicated trying to keep up with who worked yesterday and who didn't. You usually know when you did it a whole week. Now, because a cellmate will fight over that. People don't like, I like to try to also get in a routine with a guy who is on my same routine. I'm an early riser. I'd like to be in a cell with an early riser. I don't like to be in a cell with a guy who sleeps till noon because I'm in and out. Now, when you have a cellie, you try to respect each other's privacy. So for me, it's more beneficial to be on the kind of the same sleep schedule, man. But hey, each his own. Some guys liked it because they aren't in and out of the cell. Me, the type of lifestyle that I was leading at the time, a lot of times I was having to go in, ditch stuff, go in, grab stuff, go in, whatever. I gotta use my cell. So I'll tell a guy quick, if you're not on the same type of schedule as me, you're going to have to either be patient and deal with it, or you can move yourself. I also went to sleep early. People used to joke me all the time. Oh, look at the old man. All right, Pops. All right, Big Pops. We'll holler at you tomorrow. Okay? My thing was this. It's just like in the streets. If you're out there driving around at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, there ain't usually but two things out there. Cops and robbers out. You know what I'm saying? Cops and bad guys. So, in my opinion, after 8, 9 o'clock at night, there's no reason for me to be in that day room. There's no reason for me to be in that day room because there's only trouble. If I can go ahead and go to bed 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm up at 4 or 5. I'm watching my news. I'm doing it again. Okay, so you get an idea of kind of how my morning started. Now, when you're in the shoe, the trays are going to come at the same time as you used to go eat breakfast. So 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, you're starting to hear that tray cart. You're starting to smell that food. It makes me wake up. They will not give you, and at least in mine, they will not give you they don't give you caffeinated coffee in prison. As far as when you get your meals, a lot of us drink a lot of coffee. So when you get locked in the shoe, you get these migraines, right? You get migraines from not having coffee or caffeine because they're going to take all your property. You don't get to go to the store back there. So you're coming off caffeine. I would get migraines so bad, it would literally make me throw up, right? It's bad. Towards the end, I was also now on Suboxone. So I would have to kick the Suboxone in the cell while kicking the caffeine, while getting myself acclimated to being locked in a cage. This is tough, man. This is tough stuff. So what I immediately would start doing is figuring out what type of routine I was going to have. You know, you're waking up, you walk to your cell door, to your tray slot, and guys that would never eat breakfast a day in their life in Gen Pop are jumping to that tray slot because you are literally starving. Because you haven't eaten since 4 o'clock the previous day. Think about that. Go eat a meal at 4 right now, and then go just not eat till tomorrow. You're hungry as hell, right? Ain't no midnight snacks. Ain't no getting up at night, going to the fridge, pulling out some grapes or some ice cream or whatever it is that you like to eat. That's dead, right? So you're hungry, you got a migraine. Sometimes you might be coming off of something and you're pissed off. Because you really, a lot of times being on investigation, you don't even know what they got you for. You don't know what type of evidence they have, so you're stressed out. What are they going to come tell me? What do they have on me? What are they getting ready to light my boots up with this time? So what I would normally do is I like to walk a lot on the yard. I would go walk laps, so I would pace like this. People used to say it was funny because they would watch me walk back and forth through my window. I'd probably walk for about an hour, maybe do some push-ups. I would try to keep myself physically moving because it's real easy to get wrapped up in a very just stagnant life, bro. A lot of guys will get in there and sleep. I can't sleep that much. I'm hyperactive. I have ADHD. I'm turnt all the time. You guys can see it. I'm always like, ah. So imagine putting somebody like that in a confined space, day in, day out, 24/7. That's what it is. Now, you have small things you can look forward to. You have Razor Night, which is 2 days a week. Usually, I think it's like a Tuesday and Thursday. Or no, Monday and Friday. Tuesday and Friday or something like that. I forget the exact days. I apologize for that. But for someone like me who shaves my head, you get that one day. You go to chop that hair, about 4 days later with that little one-blade razor, it feels like you're taking tweezers and ripping it out. So I would say 86 to the razor, right? A lot of us look crazy. We come out looking like Charles Manson because we just don't, I'm not going to shave my head with that little thing. You end up just chopping your bean up. Like one time I was trying to shave my head. I had a court appearance. I had to go in front of the judge. And I sat there and I filleted my bean so bad, bro, that I walked into court and the judge asked me, like, did you get assaulted? I was like, no, it was a razor. And he's like, well, would you just sit back and let Nolan Ryan throw razor blades at your head? Dude, what's wrong with you? Crazy, bro. So you're going to have moments, though, especially in the beginning, because you're waiting on your property, because they're going to go through your property. They're going to give you some stuff. Now, they're going to give you stuff to write with. They're going to give you paper and pen. It's usually a flex pen, so you don't, whatever it is. But I'll show you the cool thing you can do with a flex pen, too. You can make a literal a fountain with it out of your sink. You can flood the tier if you want to. I used to do it all the time. So they're going to give you books if you have certain books. Now, usually they'll let you definitely have a Bible. I had a lot of true crime novels. I had things like that, stuff that I could read. But until you get that stuff, it's basically just you, the cell. That's it. So your senses become very high frequency. Like you're going to hear and see, and every time and I'm terrible at it because, like I said, I'm very hyperactive. So I'm laying on my bed trying to get myself to unwind or whatever, and I hear something, and I pop up like a meerkat at that window. So here's the window. like you turn your head sideways because you can't get out the window, right? So every 5 minutes, dude, it's like, this is what it is, man. Every time a CO would walk down that tier, he's gonna get hit with 100 grand. Hey, CO, can I get a request for him? Hey, CO, can I get this and that? The whole time you got a migraine from no caffeine. You got your body's going through withdrawals. You're scared to death. You're pissed off. You're locked in a box. And then, and then this is what it is, man. And I'm laughing and joking, but it's kind of sad, bro. And anything you ask for 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get. So they're going to add to frustration. And then they're going to walk in there and be like, don't ask me for nothing. I'm just doing. Now they're acting like assholes because they don't want to do their job. And then, so if you want to catch a day, the little 30 minutes or so that they're going to give you to go outside once or twice a week, your bed has to be made. Your cell has to pass inspection right at breakfast time. So if they come around and you ain't made your bed yet, you're eating and they do their little work doing, you ain't made your bed, you're not going outside. That's dead. And then they're going to even be worse, and they're going to be more a-holes because they're not going to tell you. They're going to let everybody go, and they're going, hey, bro, what's up with the wreck? Oh, your bed wasn't made. Lay it down. And they think it's funny. And they wonder why these COs are getting, because they think it's funny. Well, it ain't so funny now, is it? It ain't so funny when somebody saws your bean off and kicks it down the tier. That ain't funny, is it? People, they make it out like these inmates and these guys are like just lashing out at these cops because that's just what it is. It's not what it is. If a CO shows us respect, 90%, 95% of the time, we show them respect. What happens is you get these little dudes that come in there, 18, 19, are old, and just walk around with the pants and the combat boots. They got the leg strap with the mace can. Like, come on, you're extra, bro. Once you see that, you already know what type of dude he is. You might as well just let that guy go about his business. Don't ask him for nothing because you're just setting yourself up for failure. I used to tell guys all the time, I don't know why you letting that dude, why you even let yourself get mad at him? You know what he is. That's like getting mad at a dog for barking. It's a dog. It barks. That dude is what he is. I would just wait. Don't even ask him for nothing. Because if one of those guys gets on your line, bro, it's all bad. Now, getting back to the food, you're basically going to, my day would be pretty much surrounded by trays. I would wait on trays. I'm starving back there. I would be so hungry, and you can ask any guy that's ever done long shoe time has probably done this very thing. I would eat my toothpaste, bro. I would take toilet paper and toothpaste and make mint balls and eat that shit, bro, because it is literally, you're starving. You're drinking so much water, just trying to fill your gut. So like you would save parts of your tray. You would save an apple, or you would save a piece of bread, or you would save something. And here comes that little neater big guy with his pants tucked in his boots. Oh, what's up with that apple? That's contraband. It's not contraband. I'm starving. He'll pop your cell or make you give him that apple. Oh, they're coming in there and they're going to do a cell extraction. All over an apple. But I've seen guys fight over it. Because when 8 o'clock hits, 9 o'clock that night hits, and your stomach literally feels like it's eating itself, that apple's going to be real good, bro. That's torture. To me, it's torture, bro. Like, it's mental torture. I sleep at night in prison. I'm not one of those people you have people who are very nocturnal. They like to stay up at night. I guess in their mind, they think that like if they stay up at night, they're not doing as much time. And that being said, it's hard to sleep at night sometimes when you have a guy who is up, kicking or beating, working on his flows, working on his bars at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't want you beating on my wall, working on your bars at 2 o'clock in the morning, or beating on the desk. And it just seems to me that it's like always the dudes that got the worst bars ever. They cannot rap, cannot write, can barely spell, want to be the loudest. And that's what you got back there. You got guys that are turned up, dude, who want to smear poop on themselves and go crazy. So now you got to smell that all night. You're dealing with the worst back there, guys. So the worst, whatever the prison you're in, whatever the worst is that they got, that's what you're dealing with all the time. So we would make little earbuds out of toilet paper. I'd wet the toilet paper, get it kind of damp, and I put it in my ears and I could somewhat drown out the noise. They keep the lights on 24/7. There's no turning the lights off. So you would take your sheet or a t-shirt and wrap it around your head, letting you look like a pirate. But it's what you have to do in order to get some shut-eye. Sometimes they'll dim the lights, but I've been in holes, certain seg units, where they keep that thing blasted. We had one tier in the old jail I was at. They called it the Yellow Brick Road because it was painted bright yellow, and they kept this bright light on all day. It looked like sun all the time, dude. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and it is lit in there. I mean, all day, bro, all night, just like that. So your brain is going to start to do some like manipulating. Your brain is going to start to like preserve itself. So I think that a lot of times it'll shut down and like kind of like, and you just kind of, I don't know, me personally, I feel like I focus on certain things so I don't focus on the other things. And that's how I would start it. I would have a workout. I would base my day around trays. I would base my weeks on razors or my months on a haircut. Because they let you get your haircut once a month. 2 more weeks till haircuts. That's another month down. And when you're talking about another month down in a seg term, you're doing time, bro. That's time. Hard time. When we would get asked the COs for something, and they wouldn't give it to us, or they would just not give us what we had coming. That's really all we wanted. We never really asked for much. I never asked for what I didn't have coming. I knew what I was allowed to have. All I wanted was that. And if you acted like an a-hole and didn't want to give me that, then I was going to flood your tier. And I was going to make you slosh around in them tight tag combat boots that you cherish and polish up so much. And the way I would do that is I would take that flex pen I told you about earlier. I'd take about 2 or 3 of them. I'd tape them together, and I would jam it onto the top of that sink because you have a button like this that you push. It's a metal button, and it would shoot water out the top of this little nozzle. So I'd get them both going. I'd have that thing, I'd point it right out like this, like a hose, and I'd flood that tier, man. I'd get 5 or 6 guys to do it with me. Next thing you know, you got water cascading off that top tier like it's something out of the Wizard of Oz, dude. Should have brought me that toothpaste because I'm starving. I ate my other tube. That's real, man. I remember I couldn't get, I like to drink like mixed fruit drinks, it's like Kool-Aid type drinks or whatever, Tang. They would not let us have it. So I went to medical and got orange flavored Metamucil because it tasted like a drink to me. And we know what happened, but I'd drink it all day long. I'd give me some ice. I'd mix my Metamucil up. Let's go. Sad. People thought I was crazy because I would work out, but I had to work out. When I went into the SHU, the longest term I did was about 15 months, longest. And I went in at about 260. When I came out of that, I was 185. That's very small for me. I look bad. I didn't shave. My beard was like this. Hair crazy, man. I look nuts. But I got through it. People say, how'd you get through it? Routine, man. Whether I was in general population or I was in the whole, I always had a routine. And I think this is like one of the reasons why a lot of us stumble out here, because it's harder for us to get a routine out here, I think, because there's so many distractions. Where in prison, you pretty much know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not really a lot of distraction. You're either like on some like war stuff, or you're on some like chill, like everyone's chilling right now. You're on some, everyone's getting money. It's pretty much what the yard does is what you do. The yard dictates pretty much the vibe, bro. If there's money on the yard, there's not gonna be a lot of violence. As long as there's money, and I think there's a lot of reasons why these administrators let the drugs come in, because as long as there's dope and money on the yard, people have something to do. We're hustling. Football, sports, we're running the parlays, the tickets, we're selling the strips, we're selling the dope, we got the feezies, we're doing all the stuff we're doing. Once they shut that down, you take away the gambling, you take away the dope, you take away the money, there's only one thing left for us to do. And that's fight. That's just the reality, man. So you get put back in the hole. You lose all sense of distraction. There's one last thing I want to say before I finish this video, because this is getting a little long, and I apologize for that. But the one thing about the routine in the hole, you will learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn how strong or how weak you really are mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You can either get yourself in really pristine, ripped up shape. A lot of dudes come out of the hole looking crazy, man, looking good, looking like action figures. Or you can let your body look like a melted candle. That's on you. Just as like it's on you out here. The best advice I can give you, don't go to prison. Don't put yourself in that situation to end up in SEG. Because all SEG is prison within the prison, man. So if you think prison's bad, you don't want that. Please, please, please. If you take anything from these videos, man, the things that you're doing out here will affect you. I don't care how young you are, it will affect you. You will go to jail, you will go to prison, you will go to SEG, you will get institutionalized, and then you'll be an old man looking back, wishing you hadn't made so many mistakes. Learn from ours, learn from mine. Watch the videos. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. You don't have to do that. I already did it for you. I took the pain for you. I took the loneliness for you. I took all of that for you and sacrificed 20 years of my life so I can get on here and give you a gem. It's on you whether you want to take it or not. All I can do is try to sharpen the edges and let you understand that that's not a place you want to be. Much love to the Gladiator Gang. And as always, you guys, stay up, stay out, stay sucker free. Let's go.